What is up, everybody? Noble Comics here, and today we are going to be giving an in-depth look into the genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, Avenger, who has no eye for fashion. Or does he? Let's talk about Iron Man's costume. Overall theming for the character, costume, and the name alludes to a superhero who reflects militarism, advanced technology, and some degree of cold, calculating destruction. An Iron Man sounds like a monster, and with the history of Tony Stark, the rest of the picture really comes into view. Let's see how his suit matches up. Keep in mind that Tony Stark has countless suits and is probably the least consistent looking superhero that there is. However, many of his suits do have consistent elements, which I will discuss overall, and then I'll rank a few of the better and worse variations. So, Iron Man's suit generally has a gold and red color scheme, typically more or less of a form-fitting body of armor, a completely covered face, and some iconic elements such as his chest repulsor of varying shape and size, and the repulsors in his hands. All the suits also look very busy. We have lines and screws and moving parts, and it all looks very put together like a real, actual crafted machine, which is good. Overall, we have a pretty weak silhouette test. As we can see here, as a silhouette, we don't really see anything that stands out, makes the character very notable or recognizable. But this can help with his more bulkier suits, right, where different armored pieces can poke out and make him more identifiable, but it doesn't help very much. Starting from the top down, looking at his suit, we'll start with the mask and the face covering, which is probably the strongest element of the suit. It's concealed, it's emotionless, even if that conflicts with Tony's real personality, but it still has sort of a space age feel. It feels like both a gladiator mask as well as like a piece of a tank or a rocket ship. Moving down to the chest, obviously we have the repulsor, the heart of Tony Stark and Iron Man. This is really the only like notable design element as far as an insignia goes for the character. And on its own, it doesn't really stand out much as an insignia, but it does play again into the theme of the character. This is not necessarily a superhero that we're seeing, it is more of a war machine. The rest of the suit's general design is that of like heavy industrial armor, rockets in the feet, and then when he shoots off, either from his feet or his hands, it's like blasting fire and there's smoke left over, like an actual rocket taking off. His weaponry as well, which is integrated into his suit, consists of lots of guns, rockets, lasers, again, keeping this theme of like a futuristic military look. However, the color scheme, which I feel admittedly is an iconic design for the character, doesn't make much sense to me. I feel like he was designed this way with the red and gold to be colorful and eye-catching rather than to fit the character, kind of similar to Spider-Man's color scheme. I feel like Iron Man, this military hero, armor clad, should be black or gray or military green or something like that. And while his like very original design doesn't look nearly as clean as today's, that is, I think, the character represented pretty well of what an Iron Man would look like conceptually. I alluded to this earlier, but the best looking Iron Man might be War Machine, who exhibits the themes of this futuristic military, and Iron Man, the one-man army, better than most of his suits or variations. The red and gold suit is very gaudy. It does fit Tony Stark's personality, but I don't think it fits the Iron Man idea or theme, and I think that it kind of clashes with other design aspects of the suit. Of this variation, though, of the red and gold, I think the Civil War era suit does it the best, maybe the Bleeding Edge suit. They very much feel like military weapons, while feeling somewhat like rounded in space age, and are definitely playing more into a superhero look than right like a military machine type of look. More modern versions of the character, like the all new, all different, take a more angular approach to everything. They're leaning heavier into this futuristic nanotech suit. It's more form fitting, and it seems more like battery powered than gas powered, if that makes sense. While the development of the character has gone in that direction, I don't think it's the best representation of the character. I think Iron Man should feel more gas powered, if that makes sense. Again, playing into the theme of more militarism. And I think that his Model 50 armor does a much better job of capturing this in the modern approach because it kind of feels like the natural progression of the space age military unit, and I think that the colors are better than the original. Overall, taking the design elements of the suit, how they clash and complement each other, and the theme, I would give the overall look of Iron Man probably a 5. I think there are equal detractors as there are good design elements here. The Civil War era and Bleeding Edge suit, my personal favorites, I think would probably get up to a 7.
I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
An overall look. I think that it's as good as it gets when it comes to hitting those good design elements and being held back by some of the worst design elements. Mainly, I'm talking about our color scheme. The modern, all new, all different suit probably gets a 3.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
I think it loses the look of the character. I think it really has lost the theme of the character, and I don't think it's replacing it with anything else. The Model 50 would probably get a 7 as well. This is a great progression of the suit and how it would look. Maybe even an 8, as it does actually improve on the original design regarding color, and the optional face mask, allowing for the cold machine during a fight, but does allow Tony's personality to come through in a more casual setting. Finally, War Machine, while not technically Iron Man, but the same idea, and in my opinion, the best representation of the idea, is the best Iron Man suit that has been shown here. I think it's improved upon the original design. I think it being bulkier definitely helps as well. The worst elements here are removed, and it goes fully into that theme of, like I've been talking about, of militarism. War Machine gets a solid 9.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
Maybe even a 10, as this may be the perfect representation of the character, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about the rating? What do you think about Iron Man's suit overall? Is there any character in particular that you want to see get reviewed? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.